In 2022, Amazon admitted to handing over private Ring doorbell footage to United States law enforcement 11 times. They didn't ask for the camera owner's permission, and the police didn't have a judicial warrant. Today, 1 in 4 American homes operates a smart video doorbell. That is millions of lenses staring out into neighborhoods, recording 24 hours a day. These devices were originally sold as a way for individuals to see who was dropping off a package or knocking at their door. But as the hardware multiplied, those isolated front porch viewpoints merged into a massive, privately owned surveillance grid. Homeowners bought these devices for security. In the process, they've built a technical infrastructure that circumvents many of our established legal protections. Older CCTV systems are closed loops, where footage records to a hard drive sitting inside the building. Ring cameras operate differently. Instead of saving locally, they constantly beam a video stream out of your home to Amazon's cloud servers. That architecture creates severe vulnerabilities. In 2023, the Federal Trade Commission penalized Ring with a $5.8 million fine for failing to protect the data sitting on those servers. The FTC complaint revealed that Amazon employees had unfettered access to private customer feeds. In one case, an engineer spent months watching thousands of videos from cameras placed in users' bedrooms and bathrooms. Hackers also routinely bypassed weak security, hijacking two-way audio to harass children and elderly residents. Because the product was designed to prioritize cloud connectivity over local storage, the privacy of the home became dependent on corporate security measures that clearly failed. Amazon actively expanded who could look through these lenses. By 2019, the company had established direct partnerships with more than 400 local police departments across the country. In many of these partnered cities, local governments used taxpayer money to subsidize device discounts for residents. They effectively paid to blanket their own towns with cameras, crowdsourcing a monitoring network. This is the clause in Ring's terms of service that makes this pipeline possible. It states that Amazon can hand over video data without user consent if they determine a situation is an emergency. Under the Fourth Amendment, police usually have to prove probable cause to a judge to get a warrant. This policy allows a corporation to make that decision instead, removing judicial oversight from the process. The recording doesn't stop at the property line. Recording a private porch captures public sidewalks and unaware neighbors, a concept known as interdependent privacy. Neighbors have started challenging this in court. In the UK case Fairhurst versus Woodard, a judge ruled that a Ring camera's extensive audio and video coverage of a neighbor's property was an unjustifiable invasion of privacy. This chart illustrates the data flow for anyone in the camera's range. It moves from the smart camera to the vendor process and storage servers, and then to third-party contractors and platforms, often without the bystander ever knowing. Once location and visual data enters the commercial market, federal agencies can buy it. Organizations like Immigration and Customs Enforcement use private brokers to track individuals, which allows them to bypass the strict regulations that limit direct domestic intelligence gathering. In a smart home neighborhood, you do not have to own a camera to be recorded, indexed, and tracked by one. We are in a position where consumers pay for the hardware, installation, and electricity, while law enforcement and data brokers use the resulting intelligence for free. There are ways to mitigate this. You can enable end-to-end encryption in your app so Amazon cannot view the footage, or switch to devices that process and store video on a local hard drive inside your home. But these protections require users to opt in. The default settings still favor mass data collection, and most devices are installed exactly as they come out of the box. By outsourcing surveillance to private companies, we have created a workaround to historic privacy protections. Daily activities like walking the dog or driving to work are now acts that are routinely logged and categorized. The final stakes are clear. We either update our laws to regulate how this hardware operates, or we accept that being in public now comes with a permanent digital record.